All right, guys, I want to share with you a very good size Casio ProTrek. This is a triple sensor model. This is the PRW dash, maybe dash or no dash, 3100YB. Here's the actual full-on part number. I ended up buying this one on eBay, and I know I'm done with eBay, but sometimes I get weak and I just buy them because it's easier to find certain watches there versus hunting around for them. But I'm legit done with it now. So anyway, I picked this one because the size, the price, and for those things combined with its features. So and I liked the color. I liked the black strap and the black accents with the anodized blue metal ring up here. And then there's even, if you wanted to go even further, there's some colorways. If you do the PRW S 3100, that S is for sapphire, you're going to get a sapphire crystal. This one's just a mineral glass, but it's pretty much protected. I don't think I'm going to scratch this for how I use my watches. I'm already pretty easy on the darn things. So, and if I did, I paid $155 for it. And I know that's a lot of money, but to go to the sapphire one, it's double or more. So you're going to pay like $300, potentially more. So I don't know. I think I'm willing to take my chances. Because I think for the most part, unless I'm missing something, that's all you gain when you go to that S model, and it's more than double the price, is you get the sapphire crystal. Maybe it's worth it to you. If you're really hard on your watches, it's probably worth it to you. I am not, so it's not a big deal. Let's talk about the size of this, because I think that's one of the most important things, because a lot of these ProTreks and a lot of these G-Shock watches are huge, and this one is just not huge. It's about, if you measure, minus all the little nubs here, it's about 43.5 millimeter, maybe a touch over. And then the lug to lug, I just measured from these screws here on the end links here, or whatever you want to call them, the wings, is about 51, and then the thickness is 12.2. So for this style of watch, that's considered small. I mean, usually these things are like 48 millimeter and stuff. So for size example, here's like a G-Shock Square. I mean, you're like kind of in line with that. Or if you're familiar with the GA 2100 series, it's almost identical to the size of a GA 2100. A little bit more weighty because the GA 2100s weigh in at about 52 grams, whereas this guy weighs in at about 67. So it's only marginally heavier, but you got to remember, you have that metal band there. You also have the triple sensors. It's tough solar and multi-band 6 as well. So those are the things I like to see. I like to see the tough solar. I like to see the multi-band, so it just syncs up. It's always going to have accurate timekeeping. And then I kind of like having the metal band around here. For one, I like the blue color, and it just, I don't know. I know if it gets hit, it's going to get scratched up, but I just like it versus the plastic, because there are a less expensive, yet again, model of a watch similar to this that is going to have plastic up here, but it's not going to have the multi-band. So I want the multi-band and I want the metal. This is my pick. All right, so as far as what it has for triple sensor, you have your compass, you have your barometer, altimeter. If you cycle through your modes, obviously this is typically how you're going to look at your watch. You're going to have I have it set up as day date, but you can actually hit the adjust and you can have it as month date, or you can hit it again and you can have the barometer display up there. I personally prefer it as this, so I have my day date, I have my time, it's PM. You can set it in 24-hour as well. It's in the power save mode if you look on there as well, and you have your seconds. So the other things it does, if you hit mode the first time, it goes into the sunrise, sunset information. That's kind of fun to have. And then you have a record feature. Now this will record, like say you go on a journey or hike or something like that. It'll record max levels of like altitudes, and I don't know. Listen, if you want to get into that much detail, it's module 344. You can look it up online. There's PDF files, or you can read through this. I'm sure it's multiple languages, but dang, that is a thick manual. So I'm not going to get into all that, right? So if you hit mode again, you have your stopwatch feature, easy to use. You know, you start there, stop, clear, okay. I'm used to it the other way around, but and then you have a countdown timer, same thing. You're going to be able to start your countdown. You can stop it, clear it, reset it, and you can adjust your countdown timer on that as well. And then you have multiple alarms that you can have on here. I highly recommend, if you're going to buy one of these watches and then sell it, go ahead and set all of those alarms for super inconvenient times so that the new owner is constantly reminded of how much of a pain in the ass you were. So there's another world time zone you can keep track of as well. And then it gives you the information about the date and time that it received its last signal. So just a few days ago, it received that in the middle of the night. So, and then we're back to time. So pretty much very intuitive, easy to use for the majority of the features you're going to use. You know, if you're going to mess around with your compass, I'm pretty sure it's accurate. I don't use it, but I suppose if I needed to, it's there. You know, you turn it and you can track what direction you're pointed and all that good stuff. I just don't see myself using it. The barometer, I would like to learn a little bit more about the barometer and accurate use of it, because it can, especially when I start doing some ventures out, some longer hikes, or maybe even some camping. And this will be more fun, I guess, to track weather patterns versus just looking on your phone and the NOAA app or something. And then, of course, altimeter, certainly fun information to have. Like, say I want to go visit Gatlinburg or something like that, kind of know where you're at above sea level. Or maybe I go out and visit Bruce again out in Salt Lake City or out to Vegas or wherever the heck I'm going. It's kind of fun to know. So I guess it has that stuff, and then you hit mode and you're back. So, and I'm sure there's a ton of other things that it can potentially do. Again, read the manual if you want. That's not what I'm doing. So there's also a light button right here, and I got to be honest with you, some of the earlier models, I probably didn't even realize it was there. But there's a button right here, and I'm sure it has the auto light feature as well, if you want to set that up. But let me pop this guy in the wrist so you can see what it looks like on my approximately 7¼ inch wrist. I prefer, I'm fine with the larger sized ones, but for regular use, like working or hiking or whatever, I prefer this size easily. I mean, it just wears, it's super comfortable, super light. They actually taper the strap down. They have the same material for the, like the rubber synthetic material for the keeper instead of metal. And then even the metal is pretty lightweight. It would have been trick if that would have been anodized blue as well, but I'm not going to be super critical of that, because you also have these metal buttons over here and over here that kind of tie it all in. So, and the ring inside. So, excellent watch. I'm a big fan of it. I'm very happy with my purchase, and I like to keep this one as well as a bunch of G-Shocks. It's nice to have the larger digital display for a quick time reference or whatever function you're using. It's super legible, easy to read, versus say like if you go hiking with this, sure, you can read it, not a problem, it's analog clock, but I'm busy doing other things. I don't need, like, you know, an analog, I need to watch just to do the time or whatever functions I'm doing. I would rather have this. That's just me. All right, let's check out the Illumination. Hopefully it'll zoom in, or focus in, excuse me. Yeah, it's very clear. It lights up the entire surface. I mean, you can see the lights are off to the side, but that's just where they hook up, and then they light up the whole surface. So yeah, I tried holding it down to see if it'd stay on. I think you can set the intervals. I think it's on a short cycle. You can set it up for a longer cycle as well. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next vid.